Coach's Corner is your source. Baseball, football, soccer, and hoops. The Coach's Corner has the scoop. It's the Coach's Corner with Andy.
Covering Tri-State sports, it's the Coach's Corner with Andy on 92.1 The GOAT.
It's the Coach's Corner.
Hey, I'm Andy with the Coach's Corner, and I am here with Zack Morgan today. He's the athletic director at Grace Academy. How's it going today, Zack?
It's great. Just enjoying this surprise snow today. So it's
I know, right?
Start the winter season, and here we are.
Right, exactly. Just to give everybody an idea of today's Friday, the 22nd. In case somebody watches this after this day, it is snowing outside, the first snow of the season, but it's not sticking to the ground, so I'm okay with that. Was just talking to another coworker about how your views of snow are so much different when you become an adult. You know, when you're a kid, it's school closed and you play all day. Then you're an adult, you're either shoveling it or you're just stuck inside. So
freezing, walking outside to your car, or as my 3-year-old said at 8 a.m., "Daddy, can we go outside?" So
I hear you. I got a 5 and a 2-year-old, so I'm right on that train with you, my friend. So Zack, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you ended up as the athletic director at Grace Academy. Did you attend Grace Academy?
Yeah, so I'm a lifer. So I went K to 12. So I was in the old building down on Broadway Street in downtown Hagerstown. So I was there through 3rd grade, and then we built this building in 2000, moved in January 2001. So I've been here 2001 to 2010 as a student, and then left for community college, and then transferred to a 4-year school. And then after that, actually came back. My first job was part-time PE teacher here at Grace. And then I also worked with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And then went away to college coaching for a little bit. And then found my way back to this area and the head of school now. And at the time, the high school principal, Mark Kuntz, who's here still, kind of reached out and was like, "Hey, do you want to come back to the high school athletics world?" And that's what brought us back here. And so January will be the end of year 3, so starting year 4 in January.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. What sport did you play while you were at Grace Academy, or did you do multiple sports?
Yeah, so I was a 3-sport athlete. So I played soccer in the fall, basketball, and then baseball. Grew up playing golf. My sisters are all volleyball players. So I was you put a ball out, I'm going to play it type of person. So soccer was my main sport. I played that collegiately, and then coached it as well. So
Awesome. Speaking of your volleyball team there at Grace Academy, they had a pretty stellar season. Ended up finishing 2nd in the, forgive me if I get this incorrect, what's the name of the tournament?
The national tournament. Yeah. So the NCSAA, it's the National Christian Schools Athletic Association.
I keep wanting to say NCAA, but I know that's
completely the same thing. Yeah. No. So they were out of all the, I guess, it's not necessarily invited, like you get to submit entry to the tournament out in Athletes in Action. They have a huge facility out by Cedarville in Ohio. And our volleyball and soccer teams went. And our volleyball team finished 2nd out of, I believe it was 48 teams, Christian high schools from across, Florida. We lost to a team from Florida, but we played teams from all over the East Coast, Central United States. I think there were a couple of West Coast teams, but majority speaking, an awesome season. I think, we lost one 5-set match all season. That was to North High, 3A state champs in Maryland. That game was incredible. And then undefeated conference season, then conference tournament champions. So that was our back-to-back seasons winning that, which was awesome.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I have a few friends that have some kids that go to Grace Academy, and one of them is a volleyball player. So I would see the occasional, still undefeated, and all the updates. So I was like, wow, I didn't know Grace Academy's volleyball team was that good.
The last couple of years has been really cool to see just kind of the holistic approach to the volleyball program, from elementary camps to middle school development to then getting to high school with JV and high school. I think our volleyball teams They lost one official game on every level the whole way up this year. So it's just like a very cool, leads with our varsity head coach, Coach Barnhart. She has made it like it's a program. It's not just her team. It's like every student that enters volleyball. I think we had 35 girls want to play middle school volleyball this year. So we ended up having 3 middle school girls teams and JV and then varsity. So it was awesome.
That's awesome. The volleyball is not the only sport at Grace Academy that was successful in the fall. The boys varsity soccer team won the MDCC title this past season. Congratulations going on to them as well. What was their record? I didn't catch. I was looking for that and couldn't find it.
Off the top of my head, I want to say it was like 11-3-3 or something like that. So pretty successful year. Actually, most of the losses came in the beginning, trying to figure, life out and who they were. And then, kind of ran the table in the MDCC. I think we had I believe it was one conference loss or tie through the regular season, finished first place in the regular season, and then went on to beat Calvary in the final 3-1. That was our first soccer title since 2009. So it was a really cool just culmination to them. And then, our middle school teams both won the league titles too this year. So we had the first, I think, in school history sweep, if you will, of all 4 league titles in one season, which was really fun. Yeah.
That is really awesome. So we talked a little bit about, for those that don't know, you guys do offer, kindergarten through 12th grade at Grace Academy. The athletic opportunities will start at 6th grade, right? All the way through years.
Competitive athletic, yeah.
Yes. And then you have those after-school club programs as well, like your middle school teams. And does it go any lower than the middle school teams or?
Yeah, so great question. So at Grace, one of the things that I think it was my first kind of week in January, I walked just through that school after school, and there's like 60 kids in aftercare, and every single kid's on their iPad or their Chromebook, and I'm just like, we gotta change this. We've been able to. We have after school programs essentially from kindergarten to 5th grade, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every week. Not every week. It's sections. We have a fall, a winter, and a spring section. They're like 6 to 8 weeks. Been able to partner with a lot of local companies. So Pediatric Movement Center, Liverpool Soccer, Soccer Shots, just to name a few. And then we have our own in-house programs. So we have dance, we have archery through the NASP program. We've done volleyball, basketball, wiffle ball this year, which was really fun and successful.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Cool.
So just try cross country runners club is what we call it. Just really try to give a one day, on Monday is this club, on Tuesday is this club, on Wednesday is this club. And, I think our after school dance club sold out in 31 seconds this year. So it's, a lot of these have been really fun and kind of, the community at Grace has embraced them. They want that experience for their kids that's holistic, whether it's in the classroom and it's after school. And it's not just have to be competitive sports. It can be just something fun to get your kid moving and healthy and active. And that's been really fun. So that's the after school side. And then we have middle school and high school. We have 3 seasons. So the fall is soccer and volleyball. And then we've dabbled in golf and cross country as clubs. So the goal is to make those official sports here very soon. And then the winter we play basketball from middle school to high school. We have JV. We've had freshman team before, but really it's middle school, JV, and varsity.
Okay.
We also do futsal through the rec department, so indoor soccer.
Yeah.
And then this year we'll be doing archery in the winter as well to hopefully compete in the Maryland tournament that you can compete in. And then in the spring is girls soccer and baseball.
Awesome.
And then we do some other clubs. We do golf again in the spring. We do runners club again in the spring. So, we try to give as many kids. I think, we're close to almost probably 70% of students do something. It's not mandatory, but, from my perspective, athletics is going to teach you so much as a person, whether it's spiritual challenges, whether it's you just gotta be on top of it, and I think it really drives kids to be focused.
Yeah, I agree 110%. So, you mentioned you were talking about all the sports. I know you guys do play a few Washington County teams. Like, I know you have you mentioned playing North High volleyball.
Yeah.
I think Clear Spring's another one that you guys occasionally play.
Yeah, we
Uh,
actually scrimmaged them in basketball last night
okay.
for the boys, and then
Oh, there
our
we go.
girls are playing them tonight. So
Yeah, cool.
for
So
basketball.
the winter season has officially started tonight. Is
Yeah,
today the first day?
so not real competition games. I think in Washington County start next week, technically, so like
Yeah.
official games, but people can be scrimmaging this week and
Okay.
next week.
Gotcha.
Our first middle school games in JV is next Tuesday. Yeah, I got my
Okay.
calendar up. And
Cool.
then we'll play our official games in December. So
Okay. It kind of leads me into my next question. Washington County just recently took on this season the flag football sport. Are you guys going to be looking into possibly adding that?
Great question. So we've talked about it, I guess,
Mhm.
as kind of a leadership group. My kind of intern this fall is a flag football ref. He's doing some master's degree stuff, so he's needed some internship hours, and he's working with us, and he's been kind of giving me his opinion on it and everything. So I think the real thing is just as schools grow, and as our school is growing, is finding that balance of athletic opportunities that you can grow into, right? I don't want to just take the state of Maryland's 3 years and be like, all right, let's do flag football, and then in 2 years it's like, oh, that's burnout and nobody wants to do it. So I think really evaluating it, and then I think even as a private school in Maryland, we're not included in the MPSSAA, so we kind of have to navigate. All right, could we even get on their schedules? Could we even add these games and stuff? So I think it would be cool. Don't get me wrong. And I think with volleyball's high demand, we're not going to be able to reach all of our girls. So could that be a thing? Yeah. We've also, had the conversation of, does soccer move back to traditional fall for girls, and we add softball again? So there's lots of moving pieces, Andy, to this. So it's come up, and we've had people ask. It's just unfortunately I can't just on a whim be like, yeah, we're doing flag football.
Right, and that's how most people see it, that don't understand, what goes into being an athletic director and organizing that. They think it's just, oh, let's decide to do it, or maybe that you're told it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. There's a lot, like you said, a lot that goes with it. So when the girls soccer team plays in the spring, that's your whole division that participates in the sport there.
The Mason-Dixon Christian Conference plays.
Okay.
There,
and that's just strictly spring. And you said possibly it may be fall, depending on.
Yeah, that would just be something that the league would have to choose. I don't foresee it happening anytime soon, but right. It's come up in conversation before. Our league plays. We're kind of, I don't know, history wise, if you want to get into this for a quick second, but Pennsylvania used to play in the spring girls soccer. I think it was like 10 years ago, maybe 15, something like that. I think it was in the early 2007, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. Anyways, so we decided that we would play our league because we're a league in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and West Virginia. And at one point, Virginia as well. So we would play in the spring so that we could play Pennsylvania schools and others. And then since Pennsylvania changed, we stayed in the spring because schools just didn't have interest in softball in our league. Just that's where we stay. And then there's a lot of Christian schools in Maryland that stayed. So we will travel, play other schools in Maryland that are still Christian private schools that have kept that season, We have scrimmages with club teams, in the local area as well. So it's a different schedule than probably most high school athletes are used to, but it still works for us. Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, soccer is a fall and a spring sport in most recreational leagues. They usually offer both. I think, like you said, a lot of the reasons the high schools only choose one of the fall seasons mostly maybe because either they have a more successful sport in spring, or there's more participation in the spring and they're worried about taking away from another, which would be your guys' thing in the fall. You don't want to take too much away from volleyball with how successful you are, so it makes sense.
And the recent introduction of lacrosse obviously kind of permanently stuck soccer to be a fall sport, I think. Because, with that being in the spring, and then you have baseball, softball, you kind of have the balance of 2 and 2 in each in kind of each area. So I think that kind of solidified that in the state for sure. So
yeah. So, while we're talking on these sports, I do want to mention just and give you guys a congratulations as a school. 10 of your athletes earned all MDCC honors this fall season. So, congratulations to Grace Academy on that. And you guys have your basketball season that officially started. Do you guys have any? What was the record on the basketball season last year?
Yeah, both teams. Not off the top of my head, I want to say they were just better than 500. So
Okay.
10 and 8 or something like that on the varsity levels. I think we finished third in both of our tournaments, and I think regular season. So we actually finished where we should have, I guess, in quotation marks. Our girls, last year, I think their best win was beating Broad Fording, who won the conference tournament. We beat them at home. And then I think our guys beat Heritage, who is historically the best, one of the top 2 teams in the league. We beat them at home for the first time. And I honestly don't even know if we've ever beat them in this gym before. So, it was pretty cool. We had good wins. So I think, we lost some good talent on both teams, but the, great leadership still coming through on both, which should be good. So.
Yeah, in high school sports, isn't always about the wins and the losses. It's about the lessons that you learn, the friendships you make. You carry those things over into the, after you graduate through high school there. Yeah,
I mean, the key to that, the trip that we went to Ohio at the end of the season, our soccer team didn't do as well as they wanted to. I think they went 1-2 in their essentially pool play, so they didn't get to advance to anything. But I'd probably more parents say that experience of just getting away as a team and relationships and coming home afterwards was, better than, anything in the season. Granted, probably the players would agree that winning the championship was the best part. Yeah. But just seeing them come back, in a different light and still being okay with, that's how it went, but they had a great time together. So.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, they think obviously they want to win the championship. That's the ultimate goal. But when you're older, just to give, I like to give this example when I talk about this topic. I played baseball all through life, minor league, little league, all the way up through high school. I tried out freshman, sophomore, and junior year for baseball. I went to Williamsport, and the team was very, very good. All 4 years of my school career. I'm not sure. I'm sure you know the name Nick Aidenhart. I'm sure that's I played with him at Williamsport and through Little League. Dave Warrenfelts is another name that was on the team. So really good players. I didn't make it the first 3 years. I finally made it my senior year, and I didn't get a lot of playing time. And a lot of people would be like, well, why do you play if you don't really get a lot of playing time? I had the most fun in a sport that I ever had on that baseball team that season because I'm friends with all those guys. We had a great time. I didn't care. I mean, I cared to win and I wanted to play, but at the same time, I kind of realized, sports is about more when you're in high school. It's the lessons, it's how you handle it, and now looking back on it, I'm like, man, I'm glad I handled it the way I did because, it taught me something. And hopefully every student athlete can take away something like that from a sport at some point.
In that perspective, it's tough to teach that to 15, 16, 17-year-old, right? But if you can be that young and already understand life from that lens of just being, appreciative, of being thankful, of still giving your best, and your best isn't their best, it's yours, right? And I think Carly Lloyd, famous women's soccer player. She was like, the challenge is being better than the person you were the day before. And that's it. Comparison is a thief of other people. So just, if you can answer those questions, there's no pressure, right? It should be enjoyable. It should be fun. And, I think, if parents can get on board with that and kids can and coaches can, high school athletics could be the easiest thing. So,
high school athletics don't really function without a boosters club. The Athletics Boosters Club at Grace Academy. What kind of events do you guys have to raise money for the school? I know you've added a lot of recent upgrades. Thanks to your athletic boosters, you have some new stadium chairs in your gymnasium, new gymnasium lights, a new basketball shooting machine, and baseball field upgrades. Do you guys have any events coming up? How do you interact with the community to help raise money for your boosters club?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be transparent. I've really like not been great at that. I'm just gonna be completely honest, even though what you just said would probably contradict what I'm saying.
Hey,
We have great just families that believe in what's happening here at Grace and that are willing to do a lot. And a lot of those things you mentioned were, kind of needs that I've expressed and just said, hey, like this needs done. Coaches have reached out about this. The chairs that we were sitting on at games were chairs from 2000 and half were broken or sharp edges, or we used a folding table with a tablecloth for our scorers table. The shooting machine concept. We got 6 basketball teams in one gym, so it's like, how do we effectively do things well? And so, I think we just have really great families that have been willing to be like, hey, this is the need, and we can answer that, whether it's through their business or through community fund, kind of like fundraisers. So one of the things, for example, we did this fall was we got there's like business cards. I think I actually got one.
okay.
One of those fundraising cards where you can go out and do that. And, we sold essentially, I don't even know. We had one parent that was Mrs. Long, fantastic volunteer. She was like, I'll take care of getting them, making them, just have all the kids sell X amount. And we did the math, and it's like, if everybody sold X amount, then we just paid the entire trip to Ohio because we had to stay hotel for 3 nights. We had to get 3 meals every day. We had to pay our entry fees, and like we paid that whole trip off. And nobody, a couple people owed a couple bucks, but
yeah.
So I think really it's for most schools, it's just the most who are the people that are willing to, and then just tapping into what they're good at and really taking advantage of that. I'd like to get us on a calendar of like, we have these 3 events and we do these every year and raise a ton of money. But we've just kind of found that simple system that really works. And I think, the next step is then how do we make it even better to then provide an even better, more excellent experience for our kids, our coaches, our parents and stuff. So, that's kind of where we're at currently. And it's been great. So
That's awesome. Hey, if it works, it works, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. And we have people, volunteer in our concession stand every game that we have. We have people taking missions for us. I work all the positions, like all of our positions are volunteer. So like, I'm not losing money on game nights, So it's strictly, that comes in and is brought in. So, and then, we have those special projects, but it's been working for 3 years. And like I said, I think in reflection, we could probably go a little bigger, but for what we do, it's been a great process. So
who knows? In time, you never know what's down the road. So. Well, Zach, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I've loved hearing about Grace Academy. I've been there a few times myself. My nephews play in the LFC, the Liverpool Football Club. So they have a couple games there every now and then, and I've been there. Very nice facilities. Great looking school. Good luck in your winter season with your basketball teams. And we'll have to hook up again soon and touch base maybe before the spring season. We can talk a little about your spring sports.
Yeah, love to. Our baseball, soccer will be here before we know it. So
I know, right?
Thanks for your time, Andy.
All this snow will be gone, hopefully.
No more of that. Very good.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.